I talked to Manny on the phone, and he wants to fight one more time.
He wants to fight one more time.
He does. This kid can fight because he had speed and he had power, and it's very, very hard to get those two together
at that size.
They thought the story was finished, that the final bell had tolled on one of boxing's most electrifying careers. Manny Pacquiao, the man who once made Titans tremble with blistering speed and impossible angles, had walked away after his 2021 loss to Yordenis Ugas. He traded gloves for government, glory for memory. But now, at 46, with worn knees and time-stamped hands still wrapped in fate, he's stepping back into the ring. Why? Why risk it all when the world says the moment is past? Because one man never believed it left him, Freddie Roach. Legendary trainer, quiet, do the impossible more times than most have dreamed it. And now, Roach isn't hoping for survival, he's predicting victory. Manny can beat Mario Barrios, he says without hesitation. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when Freddie Roach speaks, the boxing gods tend to listen. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reckoning. A living legend defying time, defying doubt, and defying the story we thought was finished. Manny Pacquiao isn't returning for nostalgia, he's returning for war. And Freddie Roach, the man who's guided him through boxing's fiercest battles, is holding the door open, not out of sentiment, but because he never believed the greatness faded, only paused. It started quietly. A grainy clip here, a glimpse there, Pacquiao hitting. Mitts moving like a ghost from the past. No announcement, no headlines. Just speed, rhythm. That unmistakable silhouette dancing under the lights of Wildcard Gym. And suddenly, the boxing world froze. Could it be? Is Manny coming back? For years, he was more symbol than fighter. Senator, icon, myth. The loss to Ugas felt like closure. Not because he failed, but because he looked finished. But true warriors don't walk away from exhaustion. They walk away when there's nothing left to fight for. Now, there is. Mario Barrios, young, powerful, riding high after dismantling the same Yordenis Ugas who last beat Manny. That win put Barrios on the map. A map Roach and Pacquiao now intend to redraw, with fists, not farewell speeches. The media ask the obvious questions. Why now? Why risk everything at 46? Is this ego? Desperation? But Freddie Roach, never one for theatrics, cut through the noise with a single truth. He's not doing this for money. He's doing this because he knows he can win. That's not blind faith. That's 2 decades of shared battle scars and victories, of late nights and long flights, of watching Pacquiao defy the odds time and time again, from Barrera to Marquez to Thurman. This isn't a midlife crisis. It's unfinished business. And Roach, with that steady fire in his voice, is all in, because he's seen what the world forgets. When Manny fights, logic takes a back seat. Yes, Mario Barrios is younger, taller, fresher, but he's never faced anything like this. Not just a man, not just a legend, but a storm that refuses to die. If Pacquiao is the fire, Roach is the match that lit it. Their bond is more than trainer and fighter. It's belief forged in blood, sweat, and stubbornness. Roach has Parkinson's. His hands tremble, his voice falters, but when he straps on the pads, everything steadies. That's not medicine, it's purpose. Long before he was the mastermind behind a global icon, Roach was just another broken fighter with busted hands and nowhere else to go. Wildcard Gym wasn't born out of success, it was built on grit. 4 walls, worn mats, and a will that wouldn't quit. Then one day, a quiet, wiry kid from the Philippines walked in. He barely spoke a word. But when he threw his first punch, Roach felt it, not in his hands, but in his bones. Lightning. Freddie Roach has seen hundreds of fighters, but none like Manny Pacquiao. And over 20 years later, he still watches him with the same intensity because he knows what most forget. Roach doesn't lie. He's told fighters to retire, told Manny to walk away before, but not this time. Not when he sees sharpness, strength, and a smarter, more calculated Pacquiao in the gym. Roach isn't banking on youth to beat Mario Barrios. He's banking on intelligence. This isn't the wild whirlwind who brawled with reckless speed. This is the refined warrior, still fast, still unorthodox, but now surgical. Roach sees more than a fight. He sees data, angles, habits. He sees how Barrios dips his left after a hook, how he backs out in straight lines. He's building a blueprint, not just a strategy, and it's one he's been fine-tuning for over 2 decades. Barrios is no tune-up. He's a legitimate, dangerous contender, taller, younger, with a natural welterweight frame and a punishing style that overwhelmed Yordenis Ugas. But beating Ugas doesn't mean you're ready for Pacquiao. Especially, not this Pacquiao, the one still sculpted by Roach's ruthless precision. Because where others see a mountain, Roach sees a maze, and mazes can be solved.
Huge right hand. Jab.
Barrios is disciplined but not unpredictable, a fighter who relies heavily on rhythm. His jab, while solid, comes from the same angle every time, and his aggressive bodywork, though effective, is often telegraphed. Roach calls it methodical, which in Freddy speak means exploitable. He sees the gaps. Barrios's feet don't always follow his hands, and when he resets, he's flat. That's exactly where Pacquiao thrives. Watch enough of Barrios, and it becomes clear. He's strong, moving forward but shaky when forced to pivot or retreat. Against someone like Manny, who slices in at angles and exits before most fighters react, that's dangerous. Barrios has never faced chaos like Pacquiao's, intelligent, relentless, disorienting. He tightens up under pressure, becomes mechanical, when the target disappears. And in this fight, the rhythm he relies on will be shattered. If he can't adapt mid-fight, something he's never had to do at this level, he won't weather the storm. He'll drown in it. That's why Roach built this camp differently. At 46, Manny doesn't train harder. He trains smarter. Gone are the grueling days of endless sparring and burnout road work. Now, every round is strategic, every punch thrown with purpose. The wild chaos engine that once tore through gyms has been recalibrated into something focused, efficient, lethal. This isn't about chasing what Manny was. It's about refining what still remains. And under Roach's surgical guidance, that might just be enough.
Just landed. Very close.